Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rayge, and we are back today to continue where we left off now with Dark Dimension 7 here, starting off with the Mythic section. So, the four characters I've opted to use is Apocalypse and Super Squirrel, respectively, because we brought them in already in the earlier sections. I've opted in for Kestrel as well as Dormammu, because I do like that mixture of skill and tech with Kestrel, but you'll find she's probably not going to be that useful if you guys do plan on using her, but it is nice from a resource standpoint. And I like Dormammu because he can give everyone a revive, but you'll see in these attempts, it was actually designed to go against Dormammu. So looking back now, I do think that Ultimus was probably going to be a stronger option, even Dr. Doom. But for myself personally, this was kind of the best I could bring in given the resources and constraints I had at the time. So without further ado, let's get started. The start of Mythic section now for my Dark Dimension 7. Okay, here we go. So first attempt here. Now, the reason I said Dormammu is not exactly a great use for these initial notes is because you can see here, we're actually up against a Black Cat. She completely renders our revives useless here, so she steals all of it, but we do start things off with Super Squirrel's ultimate. Thankfully, we saved that up from the first section when we brought him in previously. There's a couple of key targets we want to be aiming for, including Apocalypse. There's a Quicksilver that we need to deal with as well. But you'll see here, we want to be focusing in on that middle left cluster because I do believe that wave is going to be more problematic if you're not careful. Now, where my Apocalypse ended up in the first section when I brought him in, he doesn't actually have his ultimate from the get-go. So that's why we don't use his ultimate for previously before. We just didn't have the right cooldowns, but we were able to get his special also heal a bit. But ideally, if you guys have his ultimate to begin this with, focusing on characters like Black Cat, taking down Val, and as well as Apocalypse, they would be my priorities. So this is one of the few instances where Kestrel's nice. She can use her special there, hits hard with the defense down and so forth, but she just proved to be very, very squishy. So we go ahead, we're going to turn Mirror Rewind. You should get to a point where Squirrel can use his ultimate once again, and that's where you can see some really meaningful progress. Finally, our Apocalypse gets his ultimate, and you can see here, it took a bit of RNG, but we were able to get through this, and I'm trying to take down Black Cat because next time we run this, we do get Dormammu's revives on our team. Because of her stealing that, we didn't really get that added benefit of having Dormammu. But the nice thing about having these characters was that Dormammu does have that nice ultimate that gives everyone a heal. As you can see, finally their Apocalypse does get a turn after all those turn mirror rewinds, which is why it's really important to have Squirrel for this, because it's going to be difficult. We once again get another opportunity to use the ultimate here to heal up. So this is that value add that you're going to be getting from Dormammu, because he does provide a heal, and thankfully we were able to get this far. As you can see, 5 enemies remaining here, and it's great to see that the RNG did land in our favor, even despite not having the best cooldowns. But yeah, overall, I was pretty happy with this run, and you can see that's the third time we've used Squirrel's ultimate for this initial wave, so he's really the backbone of this. Ideally, it would have been nice to take down Apocalypse and Morgan Le Fay sooner, but this is kind of how it worked out with the other enemies and their HP pools. So you can see from this first attempt, if done right, you should be able to get at least the first wave done. And now we are dealing actually with this second wave here, a couple of Dr. Dooms. We get a chance to use our Apocalypse ultimate once again. It's really, really important to try and focus on the Morgan Le Fays, just because they do so much work and damage, and at this point I'm being mindful of cooldowns as well. There's also a couple of Robbies and Dr. Dooms that can give them the heal too, so just food for thought. Be very, very mindful of that. But yeah, these 2-3 characters do last a while. As you can see, we've taken down a third of the node, and this is where you probably will face some pressures, but thankfully our target from this wave was Morgan Le Fay, so we took her down. And it's okay if the Robbies get to go, because they're going to do some damage, but at some point it's just going to be Super Squirrel at the very end, being the most important character. Go ahead, let them use their abilities as much as you can, but that was a very, very awesome first attempt, and we're pretty pleased with that. And now continuing on here with the second attack. So second attack, you can see here, this time now we do get the revives because the Black Cat was taken care of from the previous first wave. Start things once again with Squirrel's ultimate, just devastating that he can add those offense down and heal blocks, pretty massive. But yeah, this wave is dangerous in the sense that you have to be mindful of the cooldown and the energy that Val's getting, as well as those Dr. Dooms that can activate the ultimate and the heal, right? None of them used their abilities in the previous attack yet, so that's where you need to be mindful. You can opt to use Apocalypse's ultimate. I decided to save it there and actually use an ability block on one of the Dooms, because I do believe when I was playing it out, one of them did actually activate the heal. So Our Dormammu's cooldowns was not great when he was taken down in the previous attempt, but thankfully we do have a bit of time now in the second wave here to actually build that up as we take care of some of these enemies and clean up. The one enemy I am being very mindful though in the second wave is going to be Val after taking care of Morgan Le Fay, just because remember, after she uses that ability block special, she takes a few turns, she can get that ultimate, and the ultimate can bring back her fallen allies. So just something to be mindful of there. Thankfully, this wave was managed pretty good. A lot of these characters are almost finished off, the Doctor Dooms, Robbie, so we are actually in a great position to save the Apocalypse ultimate for the next wave here. So, and you can see here Dormammu's cooldowns are looking good, so this actually ended up being a pretty good second attempt here to clean up things from the first attack, and as well now setting up here for the third wave, which is another Apocalypse, but this time he is joined by a Super Skrull, a couple Phoenixes here, and once again another Val. So pick your poison. Honestly, there's a lot of enemies you gotta go through, but you'll slug through it. It really is the Apocalypse and Super Skrull show, as you can see. And once again, now this would be the opportunity where I would recommend using, if you can save the ultimate, it's a good time to use it. So we opted to use that with the combo striker on Super Skrull. And honestly, I had a hard time deciding who I wanted to take down, because there's obviously the big three here, right? Apocalypse, Skrull, and Val. I opted for Val just because, once again, if there are fallen allies before this Val comes, keep in mind she can actually bring back the fallen allies. So just something to be mindful of there. Thankfully, we can also, try to finish her off before that happens. And thankfully, we do have that big massive heal here as well with Dormammu. So yeah, this is definitely one of the more value adds. We decided to wait there for a sec. Because you'll see later on, if you know some of your allies are going to get taken care of, it's better sometimes to just wait it out. And as you can see here, yeah, like we saw it coming here with their enemies getting turned, but now we're in a good position with the cooldown. So this is kind of where we ended things off here. I'm pretty happy with the two attacks, but let me show you guys the overall damage. But yeah, clean, like I said, took a bit of RNG, but overall I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out, because we did a lot of work on those two attacks. And you can see, and we some key enemies, like I said, the Morgan Le Fays. Now we're up against the Skrull Apocalypse. But yeah, 375 first attack, and then cleaning up things with the second attack there too. Hopefully this is helpful, guys. We'll be back with more. Thank you for your time as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.